What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Have More Than Money. Today we have a very special guest. We have yet another success student, our good friend and mentee, Virshon Fleming. Sean, thank you for joining us today.
Yo, how's it going, bro?
Good. So let's start off. Sean, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started in e-com.
Well, I got started right back around 2018, mid 2018 in e-com. It kind of led me from being an insurance agent, and I went into e-com. And my intro was basically eBay dropshipping.
Okay, Sean, quick question. So you said this was 2 years ago. You were an insurance agent?
Yeah.
And you were 20 years old at the time, correct?
Yep.
So you didn't go to college at all? You went straight from high school into working, or what? How'd that go?
Well, I actually came out of high school. I graduated young. I graduated high school 17.
Okay.
So when I got to, because I started early, it was nothing special, but when I went to JUCO, my junior college right out of high school, I was playing basketball. And from there, I was supposed to transfer to my ladies' school. But after the 2 years, I got a summer job as an insurance agent. I made my first $1,000 a day, and it was just I don't need school.
Okay, yeah. And so something that I'm always interested by, and I think we talked a little bit about it before, Sean, is what made you want to get into e-com? So I'm always intrigued by what flips a switch in someone's mind saying, all right, I'm working a job right now. I want more for myself, and I think I can get that through e-commerce.
Well, to be honest, it was the ad that was pitched to me. And I also was kind of on YouTube seeing a lot of young dudes riding the cars of their dream. I don't got that. I started moving around, did some self-assessing. And once the ad got pitched to me, it was just all right, I'm going with this guy. Because I've been seeing him on YouTube. And
who was the guy?
Bunt. So his name Jeffrey Bunting.
Okay. I never heard of him. But and by the way, don't worry about those kids driving those cars. Most of them, they don't have those cars either. It's all, they're just renting them.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so, I know Jared and I also did some eBay dropshipping in the beginning, and we definitely didn't have as much success, I think, as you had.
Before you get into that, let's backtrack a step. So you saw the guy's advertisement. What was that business model? Was that eBay dropshipping?
Yeah, it was eBay dropshipping, the same as I do today.
Okay, and what if you want to explain the business model for us?
All right. So I'm gonna take this phone for example. We take the same phone from Walmart, from Home Depot, from Amazon. Let's say it's being sold there for $100. We take this same phone, just copy and paste it on our eBay store. It's free, and you mark it up maybe 30% or so. So I'm looking at around 10% margin. So from there, I paste it in my store. Once it's sell, I take the customer's money and I pay for it using their money, and I ship it directly to them. After fees, I keep the profit.
Okay.
And so, I think Jared and I know a little bit why, but why don't you tell people who are watching, why would people buy from your eBay store when they can just buy it from the source directly?
Usually they just loyal. I'm pretty sure a lot of people loyal to McDonald's versus Wendy's.
I see.
So
okay.
It's just a loyalty factor right there.
Yeah.
I don't wear Adidas, I wear Puma,
Okay.
For whatever reason, people just like to shop on eBay. And Mike, I know I cut you off. If you want to ask the question you were about to ask as to why, he's found success as opposed to, I guess, we did it. We found success, but not obviously on the level he's found it. So I'm definitely curious to hear that.
Yeah, definitely. Like Jared said, Sean, what exactly are you doing, I guess, that we didn't do back? That was 4 years ago now?
About 3 years, actually.
3 years ago?
Yeah. Honestly, if I started when y'all started, knowing what I know, I would have probably been making $20,000 a month. But they changed some rules up. But basically, maybe you guys weren't as keen as I was. So as far as diligence and as far as having a target per se, because I list, if I'm going to list myself, I'm listing items that are going to profit me $20, $30 a sale, $50, $100 a sale.
Got it.
Versus someone that can kind of reach out to me for help they're usually their problem is their order values isn't high enough.
I see. So you try to stay, kind of high ticket in a way, not as high ticket as what we teach currently, but at least probably to get $50 profit, the item would probably have to be around $200 to $300, right? Like,
I do 10% margin, so it's usually like $500.
$500, wow. So you straight up take, like we said, products from Walmart, Amazon, Home Depot, list it for, you said 30% higher, 20% higher?
Usually about 30% higher.
30% higher. And then eBay takes what, 10% in fees?
10% for me is like 9.
Okay. So if it's 30% plus minus 10%, so that would leave you with 20%, no? Where's the other 10% go?
You got eBay fees, which is 10%.
Okay.
You have PayPal fees, which is roughly 3%. And from there, that's really all the fees and the cost of goods sold.
Okay, cool. So obviously one thing that me and Mike ran into as an issue with eBay was the limits. How many products do you have listed now? What are your limits?
I have 200 some products in my store.
Was that an eBay sale?
Yeah, that's the
I knew that wasn't Shopify. I knew that wasn't Shopify. Wait, so you have 200 products listed and you make how much profit per month?
Well, disclaimer, I just came off one of my biggest months 60 days ago.
Okay.
I got a restriction, went me down to 0. I lost my account for an entire month. And what happened was from there, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go from 0 to 30,000 a month because I never did it before. So on average, I was doing maybe, before my account got shut down, I was doing like 140 a month, like 140,000 in sales. And from there, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go 0 from 30. I'm gonna go to 0 to 30,000 a month. I did 0 to 60,000 in sales in a month.
Wow. With how many products?
With less than 200.
Wow.
With less than 200. So from there, basically like my profit margin is about 10%. And now we probably like 35 days into my account being, revitalized or whatever. And from there, I'm like at 70,000 in sales.
Okay. So that leads me to some more questions, when we were doing eBay, we had over 6,000 products and we weren't even getting sales that high. So like, what is the secret? Why are you making so many sales? I'm assuming certain products are just selling a lot, right? Like it's not, or is it equally distributed? What is the actual secret? Why are you doing so many sales of just 200 products and we couldn't even do that with 6,000 products?
Well, I would say like straight up, I list items that's just gonna make me more versus, for example, if I sell this phone for $100, I can't profit $300 out of $100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I just list higher price items.
And so, okay.
Go ahead. My bad.
No, I was just as soon as you say that, the first thing that I think of is it's almost like the comparison between low ticket and high ticket dropshipping. Like you simply can't profit like a lot of money when you're selling a $30 item. And so it seems like you're settling for less sales, but for more expensive items that are turning the same profit.
Exactly.
So how many sales do you make in roughly a day?
Not a lot. I'm probably right around like 20 sales a day, if that.
That's a good amount. That's not bad. If you're selling $500 items, what is that? 10K in a day?
No. Well, I'm not selling all. I'm saying if I list it. Now, at this point, I kind of got like virtual assistants.
Okay.
They list items at random prices or whatever. So I kind of charge shipping. I don't really tell everybody that, but like I charge shipping on some of my products just to try to make $10 per sale, regardless of what I sell.
And you hire people to run the customer service too? Who handles the emails?
Everything. So I have a rep that handles customer service and order fulfillment. Wow. And I have one for also sourcing. I have one for listing.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. So I want to pivot a little bit here because I think it should definitely be noted that, Sean, it seems like you could have just ridden this eBay dropshipping wave, all you wanted and not really had to start another business. But obviously the whole reason we're having you on today is because you're, like I said, you're pretty much a success student in this high ticket model. So you did not get complacent with you did not get complacent with this eBay dropshipping. What made you want to start a high ticket store?
To be honest, I mean, I always kind of been the idea of me even listing higher profit price items in my store. I just wanted that higher profit per sale. I was looking at, even back when I was doing like 30, 40 grand a month, I was looking at, man, I'm only profiting, 10%. Imagine if I was profiting 20% with the same numbers. That's literally just double my income without doing anything different. Yeah. And especially once I got to like my peaks, my 6-figure months and stuff like that, I told you I got to 145 in a month. So it was just like, damn, imagine if I was doing 20% versus 10% or 25%. So I was really trying to think that through, and ultimately it led me to high ticket e-commerce.
So what did you, I know obviously you started with, a course that wasn't ours. How did you find that? So obviously you came to the conclusion while you were doing eBay, you want to sell more expensive items. Is that the truth? And then you found an advertisement for high ticket e-commerce, or how did you get to the course that you ended up purchasing?
Well, I ran across this. I just was kind of like seeing who was associated with who on my Instagram. So I found this guy. He was selling high ticket, and he was doing like maybe 6 figures a month. Not maybe, but he was doing about 6 figures a month. And I reached out to him for a one-on-one. Now, this is like when stuff for me, as far as high ticket e-com, is when my journey began. So I reached out to him. I asked him for a one-on-one, how much he charged and stuff like that. So he charged $7,000. So for me, I'm like, all right, this guy know what he's doing. I kind of have success in what I'm doing. So I was looking at it as if I'm learning from myself in a high ticket e-com shoes, basically. I'm learning from a guy like that just knows what he's doing. So I'm like, $7 grand, this guy can teach me definitely to make more than $7 grand a month. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. So did the one-on-ones with him. It wasn't all the way through, to be honest. Like, we didn't even get all the way through the one-on-ones. I got a little discouraged after I was spending like thousands of ads before I figured something out. So from there, I went over to buy another course. And I bought the other course, additional coaching and the whole 9 yards. Nothing, no sales, no type of conversions, still spend a lot of money on ads. So right before I met Mike, he popped up on my Twitter timeline. Right before I met him, it was another guy that was named Ernest Epps. I reached out to him for a one-on-one. And literally a couple days later, I see Mike come on my line. And I was like, damn, like those numbers were inspired. I think you were doing like, it was 6-figure months basically. It was like, let me just reach out to him real quick. So I reached out to Mikey, and then from there, it was just like, let's rock and roll. Like, let's launch this thing or whatever. So, mind you, I have a broken person, and at this point, I'm at bare minimum $10,000 deep as far as investing in myself, trying to figure out, the ropes and stuff. So,
okay.
So you knew Mike. Hold on, I think it's getting a little interrupted right now. Mike, is it interrupted on you too, or is it just me?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, Sean, with the connection. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, you were coming in and out. That was the thing. I didn't want you to keep dropping dimes for the people to not hear them.
You want to just re-record that one?
No, I think we could just start from here. Let the people see the authenticity. I guess let me ask you a question. So when you found these first few high ticket people, was it the thing that we do? Was it Google ads and USA suppliers, or was it Facebook ads and AliExpress?
It's funny that it's the exact same thing.
Okay.
It's the exact same thing.
Gotcha. Yeah. And so I also want to point out, I think, just from the conversation that I've had with Virshon, our phone calls, I could tell right away that your mindset, Sean, was just on point from day one.
Yeah.
I think that story that you just told, the fact that you paid 3 different people for a mentorship or for phone calls, and then you were able to, you still had the guts to like go for a 4th one. Like, man, I think that's just crazy. And I mean, props to you, because I hope you can attest that we've been doing some great work together, but I just, like I said, I want to point that out, that kudos to you for not stopping.
I agree.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. Like, honestly. And I went through a lot, like, on the journey, and I'm still on a journey, of course, still. But it's like, for me, I just know the return over not even a lifetime, like I said, like the other day, like not even a lifetime, but like legit. I know who I am. I know once I figure this thing out, I'm gonna make my money back within less than 6 months. You know? So from there, it was just like, I just kept digging because I kind of had that experience with eBay too.
Yeah.
And trying to figure things out.
And that's just, like I said, it also just proves like most people don't think like that. Like when you think like a consumer rather than a producer, you think, all right, like you said, that one guy charged you $7,000, which I mean, is a pretty good amount of money for just phone calls. You know, a lot of people would be like, oh, like I'm going to be out $7,000, but it seems like your mindset was, all right, I'm going to pay this guy $7,000, but the knowledge I'm going to receive will 10x my ROI. And like I said, I think that just takes a different way of thinking about things and a different outlook on life and on business to really pull the trigger on that.
Yeah. I think there's a few things worth noting in Sean's story. You know, I think that, you know, obviously the mindset has been there from the start. I mean, the fact that, you know, you failed and kept pushing. But I think another great thing that's worth noting is that, you know, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, has 2 successful businesses and he's failed, you know, I think 3 times it sounded from the story. And that's really how it is for me and Mike and most successful people, is that you fail more than you succeed. And the beautiful part about doing business is that 1 or 2 successes will pay for all the failures and everything else included, your entire lifestyle, everything. And, you know, the last thing about Sean that I think is really worth noting is that he became successful with 1 business and didn't stop there, you know, because in the end of the day, being successful from 1 business is just as risky as having a job, you know, because it's only 1 source of income. So it's like to take the income from that first, you know, successful business, and obviously eBay, which we all know is a very risky business because they can kick you at any time, to take that money and, you know, use it to build more businesses as opposed to spend it on, you know, stupid things. You know, I give you credit for that, Sean. That's not something that everyone's capable of doing.
Yeah, I truly appreciate that, bro. Truly.
And so, Sean, what are your sales for this month?
With high ticket dropshipping.
High ticket.
Don't quote me. I'm gonna just pull it up.
Yeah, show the phone to the camera.
Okay. So today, so far, 2 orders. Oh my God. So I was supposed to have 3 orders today. I went to process the payment and I was having some issues, so we're gonna get the answer for that. So far today.
Okay. That's today. We got 1.4, and let's see the month.
Try to get a picture of it. I'm trying to get a screenshot for the thumbnail. People can see it. Look at this.
Almost 56.
56,000. What do you think the profit is on that?
It's at least 20%. I say 15 to be conservative, but it's 20%.
Yeah, that's
awesome. 20%.
That's awesome. I mean, I guess I'd like to know a little bit more. I mean, we know about the high ticket model. What changes did you make that made you go from making a couple sales to now almost at 60K this month?
Well, to be honest, you said a couple. I'm like legit, before I even met you, bro, 0.
Really?
Like, honest to God, like 0.
Oh, wow.
That's
awesome.
Now we know the title, 0 to 60K.
Like it though, bro. Like my sales were literally from this month. That's it. Like these, you know?
Okay.
So basically the difference was just how you kind of taught it, you know what I mean? Versus other people just kind of just saying, just launch the ads. Like, you know? You know?
Yeah,
exactly.
most people just tell you, go back and watch the video, But, you know, that's the difference between us. You know, we actually get on the call. I mean, Mike, you could tell, you could say it.
Yeah, I mean, it just, when it comes to any kind of advertising, but especially Google ads, it's all about conciseness, like being concise with your spending. There's so many small details. And I think, Sean, like you had a foundation with the ads. And like I said, I think we made like one major change in terms of ad groups, but just a bunch of small things. And I mean, I know we hopped in a call yesterday and now we're going to be scaling you. So, I mean, I'm hoping by next month we're at 6 figures. That's the hope.
That would be ideal.
But yeah, it's crazy. Just some small changes can go such a long way.
Yep. Actually, absolutely.
Yeah. So, you know, I definitely I think it's a great story, honestly. I think that's unbelievable to hear. It's crazy to think that, you know, this much has changed since you joined our program, because you've only been working with us for around a month or so. So it's, you know, it really is, you know, whether you have no experience or any experience, you know, within a few months of working with us, you know, your life really could be.
Exactly, bro. Like I'm legit, like, tip my hat off to both of y'all, because y'all legit the best experience I ever had with like high ticket. You know what I mean? Like, as far as all the other stuff that I went through in the past, like legit working with y'all to literally, this relationship already been paid me out 10, 12 grand. What, 12 grand-ish, maybe even 15. So
and we didn't charge you 7 grand either.
I'm sorry, maybe, I'm trying to think, maybe we should have.
Yeah.
You might need to renegotiate terms. No, but honestly, like, Sean, I mean, I appreciate the kudos, and, like, you know, obviously I can tell that you're appreciative, but it's really, we can't take anything away from you.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, like, man, you grinded, like you took something from nothing. It takes nothing and turn it into something. It takes a different kind of person. And I think, like I said, it reflects in you just having conversations with you that, you know, you have that it factor. And then, you know, with a little bit of guidance, that, I mean, the possibilities are really just endless. Yeah.
And I think, you know, for the viewer watching this, you know, Virshon's stats, I mean, are really a reflection of what he's put into it. I mean, just listen to the guy's story. You know, this isn't someone that just woke up, rolled out of bed, and started making money. I mean, this is someone that, you know, you could tell he paid his dues. He put the work in. You know, we're the fourth high ticket e-commerce people he's spoken to. Like, you know, if you want success, guys, this is what it takes. I mean, me and Mike, we talk about it all the time. You know, we failed, I think, 6 times before we finally became successful after 4 years of trying. You know, the whole point of mentorship is that you can learn from our mistakes. You know, when you join the community, not only do you get me and Mike, obviously Sean's part of the community. You can reach out to him if you're in the group chat. But yeah, guys, that's the whole point of the mentorship, is that, you know, people like us three, you know, we've put in years of trial and error. And, you know, when you get mentored by us, it's almost like so you don't have to.
Exactly. And it's spot on. Like, you're getting the tips and, like, the keys to how we found success in the model. And like you said, Jared, you're also getting the keys and tips to the pitfalls that we've fallen into. Between the three of us, we've fallen into countless pitfalls. And it's like, you know, when you get into a mentorship type program, it's like, we're going to let you know what the do's and don'ts.
Yeah,
exactly, bro. Like, imagine walking through a land full of holes, and it's just like somebody else is leading. So it's like, all right, watch that step.
Yep.
That step, you know?
That's very true. That's very true. Is there anything else you guys want to add on? I mean, I know we didn't really go too in depth with the high ticket model. I mean, I was more intrigued, like I said, about your story. I think the rest of it is kind of just self-explanatory. You know, and another thing I also want to note is that, Sean, we were your 4th coach, and we spoke about this, how, you know, they had other different ways of doing things. And I find a lot of times that when people go for different types of coaches, they get different information. They're like, oh, well, this coach would do this. They take a little bit of each, when that's just not the way that you can do it. I know yesterday when we spoke on that call, Sean, you were like, listen, whatever you guys tell me to do, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm forgetting everything else they're doing. You know, I'm really appreciative of it. I know Jared feels the same exact way, that, you know, when you're all in, we want students who are going to go all in with us, because that's really the only way to do it.
Yeah. People always ask me, like, if it's okay that they have no prior experience. I'm like, honestly, chances are, whatever you learned, we're going to have to make you unlearn. So it's honestly perfectly fine whether you have, you know, as much experience as Sean had going into this, or no experience at all. You know, either way, we're here to help.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, Sean, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I would honestly just say, you know, thank you, like, straight up to both of you. I know I told y'all that before, but, like, legit, the sky is truly, like, the limit, bro. Like, so serious.
Hell yeah.
So serious.
For sure.
Oh yeah, Mike, I guess if you want to, you know, say everything we need to say before we can end the video.
Yeah. I mean, thank you, Sean, for joining us today. I know, like I said, we're just getting started. We're taking that 6-figure month. I know it's coming. Thank you, everyone, for watching this video. If you guys want to see more high ticket videos, please drop a comment below. We'll get to a different part of the model. If you want to talk to guys like Virshon and Jared and I, be sure to check out the community at havemorethanmoney.com. Swing us a like, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video.